ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Namaste, all of you. Welcome back to our continuing study of this great text, Vivekachudamani, authored by the great Acharya Adi Shankaracharya and taught to us so beautifully, systematically, and consistently by our dear Guru Swami Paramarthananda. The word Vivekachudamani is a very significant word. It has two parts to it, being a compound word. Vivekaha and Chudamani. The word Vivekaha was given three meanings by Swami Paramarthananda right at the beginning of this text, which would be worth the while to recollect before we move along. The first meaning that Swamiji gave out was Viveka. The word stands for the power of discrimination that all human beings are blessed with potentially. As a result of Ishvara's blessings, all human beings are uniformly blessed with this power to discriminate. Viveka Shakti. The first meaning of the word Vivekaha is Viveka Shakti. The second meaning that Swamiji gave out was Viveka stands for Viveka Shakti Vyaparaha. Viveka Shakti Vyaparaha. Meaning, employing this God given discriminative power, putting it to good use. Viveka Shakti Vyaparaha. And the third meaning that Swamiji gave out was Viveka stands for Viveka Shakti Vyaparaha Janita Viveka Jnanam. Viveka Shakti Vyapara Janita Viveka Jnanam is the third meaning that Swamiji gave out for the word Vivekaha. Swamiji went on to point out that in the context of the study of Vivekachudamani, this text, we will be using the second and third meanings, namely Viveka Shakti Vyaparaha and Viveka Shakti Vyaparaha Janita Viveka Jnanam. Because Viveka Shakti is anyway a given, right? So that is the meaning. Those were the three meanings that Swamiji gave out for the word Viveka. Then the second word that makes up this compound is Chudamanihi. Chudamanihi means the crest jewel that our traditional Indian ladies wear on the forehead. Therefore, putting together the two words Vivekaha and Chudamanihi, it means our Viveka Shakti must shine like the Chudamanihi, the crest jewel, shine forth in the form of clear understanding. As a result of clear understanding, our Viveka Shakti must have its own luminosity, must develop a certain luminosity in our personalities, must sparkle through our personalities. And why is Viveka compared to a Chudamanihi? Because it has to all happen here. So Viveka Chudamanihi is a very significant word. Now, when we are talking about Viveka Shakti Vyaparaha, what are we essentially doing in the context of Vedantic study? Not in Vyavahara, but in the context of Vedantic study. What exactly are we supposed to do? What exactly are we to discriminate? When we talk, when we use the word discriminate, we always use it in the context of discriminating between two objects, two entities. In the context of Vedantic study, the two entities are Atma and Anatma. Spirit and matter. Satyam and Mithya. Discriminate between these two. Atma Anatma Vivekaha. Drik Trishya Vivekaha. Satya Mithya Vivekaha. Brahman Maya Vivekaha, etc. We must know through systematic teaching that we are composed of both these entities. All of creation is composed of both these entities, Atma and Anatma, spirit and matter. So, we need to use our sharpened intellects to discriminate between Atma and Anatma. Make a thorough study of Atma and Anatma under the guidance of a competent Acharya. For this understanding to register clearly in our intellects, Swamiji, Swami Paramarthananda, gives out a beautiful acronym that reads OMAC and T. OMAC and T. OMACT. Swamiji ingeniously uses this acronym to bring out the differences between Anatma and Atma. A 5-point program. Let us look at what this acronym signifies. Swamiji first takes up Anatma for analysis and applies these 5 points to understand, to help us understand Anatma clearly. Point number 1, O. Anatma is observable. Anatma is observable. In Sanskrit, drishyatvam. Drishyatvam. Then the next letter of OMACT is M. Anatma is material. Anatma is material. In Sanskrit, bhautikatvam. Bhautikatvam. Then the next letter is A. Anatma is known through its attributes. A for attributes. In Sanskrit, sagunatvam. Sagunatvam. Then the next letter of OMACT is C. C for change. Anatma is subject to change. A key factor. In Sanskrit, savikaratvam. Savikaratvam. And the last letter T with regard to anatma. T for temporariness. Temporariness. In Sanskrit, agama payitvam. Agama payitvam. So, anatma is observable. Anatma is material. Anatma is full of attributes. Anatma is subject to change. And anatma is temporary. It comes and goes. Agama payitvam. And in Sanskrit, it means, these English words mean drishyatvam, bhautikatvam, sagunatvam, savikaratvam, and agamapayitvam. Drishyatvam, bhautikatvam, sagunatvam, savikaratvam, agamapayitvam. OMACT. Since there are only two entities in the entire creation, having examined anatma using OMACT, the only other entity left out is atma. And how do we recognize atma? Recognize within quotes. Atma is diagonally opposite to anatma. Atma is non-observable. Non-observable. In Sanskrit, adrishyatvam. Adrishyatvam. Then atma is non-material. Non-material spiritual entity. Non-material spirit. To be taken in the right spirit. In Sanskrit, abhautikatvam. Abhautikatvam. Then the third, atma does not have any attributes at all. Agunatvam or nirgunatvam. Nirgunatvam. Atma is never subject to change. In Sanskrit, nirvikaratvam. Nirvikaratvam. And the fifth, lesson about Atma is Atma is permanent, never temporary, never subject to arrival and departure. Atma is nitya, non-temporary. In Sanskrit, anagama payitvam. Anagama payitvam. So, non-observable, non-material, non-attributed, non-changing, non-temporary. Therefore, non-OMACT. In Sanskrit, adrishyatvam, abhautikatvam, agunatvam or nirgunatvam, avikaratvam or nirvikaratvam and anagama payitvam. So, Swamiji, with the help of this wonderfully constructed acronym OMACT, teaches us how we must learn about anatma and contrast it with atma. So, this is where our Viveka Shakti is to be put to use. And everything that is recommended by the Vedas by way of Karma Yoga and Upasana Yoga is meant only for one purpose: to help us hone, sharpen our Viveka Shakti, to be able to discriminate between Atma and Anatma. Not only discriminate between Atma and Anatma, but intelligently claim Atma to be our real nature. Because that is the only way that we can get rid of attachment, fear, samsaric fear, and a sense of helplessness that leads to anger. Just like discriminating between the rope and the snake helps us finally arrive at the basis of our snake, this rope snake, to be the rope. And just as arriving at the truth of the snake releases us from bhaya and dukkha, likewise, exploring and arriving at the truth of ourselves, of this Jagat, and of Ishvara will rid us of this fearful samsaric snake. This is exactly why we are studying Viveka Chudamani. We will continue our discussion a little more in the upcoming capsule and take our study forward. Hari Om.